Hi everyone, welcome to our event. This event is brought to you by Datadog's Club, which is a community of people who love data. We have weekly events. Today is one of such events. If you want to find out more about the events we have, there is a link in the description. Click on this link. You'll see all the events we have in our pipeline. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way you'll get notified about all future events like the one we have today. And last but not least, we have an amazing Slack community where you can hang out with other data enthusiasts, ask any questions you want, and learn about things we're doing. During today's interview, you can ask any question you want. There is a pinned link in the live chat. Click on that link, ask your questions, and we will be covering these questions during the interview. And I think this is an icon from Grammarly, but I stopped using it very long ago. There is actually a meetup in Berlin from Grammarly, how they use LLMs. So probably is interesting. To me, I stopped using Grammarly because of LLMs. So yeah, I'm curious how they are doing. So anyways, now the intro is done. I have the file with questions open in front of me. And now, if you're ready, we can start.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, you have very nice earrings.
Thank you.
Cherries, right? Very cute.
Yeah.
Okay. So this week we'll talk about career transitions, leadership, and building inclusive data teams. We have a very special guest today, Xia. Xia is the head of data and cloud at NOW. So it's written now, and it's very hard to pronounce it not as now, NOW, or it's NOV. How do you pronounce it?
NOV or N.
And
Yeah.
then NOV, because it's a German company, so it's NOV. Where she supports Germany's transition towards zero emission mobility through data and cloud innovation. That sounds really interesting. So I hope we'll talk a bit about that. Her journey from being a full-time mom to leading a data team is a story of resilience, growth, and inclusion. Welcome to our event. I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you, Alexei, to having
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and we've been in touch many times before that. I know you were a student of, you were taking part in some of our courses. So we interacted before. Recently we had lunch. So for me, it's very pleasant to have you here to interview you. And I want to start with the interview from the question I ask everyone is, I want to start with your background. Can you tell us about your career journey so far?
Yeah, sure. I can share very shortly my background. Actually, I studied automotive engineering in China, Italy, and France. And moving to Germany was actually never part of the plan. I could have the chance to study in TU München, but I said, oh, it was too cold. I
Yeah,
don't want to go there.
but
But
France is cold too, right?
no, France
Or
is
was it south
quite
of
warm.
France?
Yeah.
Because Paris is like very similar to Berlin, no?
Yeah, yeah. I studied in Lyon, so it was a
Okay.
very nice city. And then because my husband, I come to Berlin, moved to Berlin, and it was for me very difficult to find a good job in automotive industry because most of in the south of Germany. And then I get married and get two children. So actually, I stayed. Yeah, I spent 4 or 5 years at home. In between, I tried one job which was not relevant to what I studied. I say I want to go out. And then in 2018, so the transition that I want to study data science and become a data scientist. That was the goal at that time. And then, after I started a second master of data science in HTV and Berlin, and then I changed frequently jobs, so almost every year one job, and then until I'm very happy to be here in my current company, NOW GmbH, which I found the job also very meaningful and company culture extremely good, and I was very I'm still very I'm very motivated Yeah, that's how I get also promoted in very short
Mhm.
time.
So you've been doing data science since 2018, right? So for roughly,
Yeah. Hmm.
was it like 7 years now, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's already quite a lot of time, right? So it was before all this AI stuff where you remember these times where we had to do all these things by hand. Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, was it difficult, like for you with two children with a completely different background to go, like basically you needed to start from scratch,
Yeah,
right?
on zero.
So
Yeah. Hmm.
so tell us more, like what did you do for that? What did you study? You said you did a master's, but I imagine it's not also super easy. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the transition, the turning point, like, okay, that I want to go back to university to study was actually very accent. I received a call from a headhunter, a British woman on the other side, asked me about, yeah, um, could you like, do you know machine learning? They're looking for someone with a mechanical engineering background, like, and for a startup doing the robotics. That was first time I hear about what is machine learning, what is data science and reinforcement learning. So I was like, wow, because I was so I spent so much time with the kids, with the children, and I think my connection are all moms from the kindergarten. I was, oh, okay, I'm out of society. I feel like for so many years, and said, oh, I want to do something, and I took action. It's really the turning point. And then I found a master study in HTV. It's actually not focused on data science. It's part of, it's called Data Science Project Management. It's a combination of the program. We learned R and statistics models and advanced data analysis. But yeah, but I was not satisfied with this because that doesn't make me to be a data scientist. At that time was like so cool, like
Mhm.
detail I remember, but nowadays is another story. Yeah, and then I also took a lot of courses in Coursera of deep learning from Andrew Ng. So he inspired me a lot, and yeah, I had brought knowledge of machine learning and deep learning, and also did my master study in MLP. But nowadays, yes, everything is AI, and it's a history now.
Yeah. Well, for me also, I started with Andrew and NG, and
Yeah,
um, he has amazing courses.
yeah.
So I think when I started, it was just one course, but I think they split it into like specialization and stuff, right?
Mm.
Okay. So how was so in studies you used R, right? Did you have to, did you ever use R outside of studies?
No.
No.
I did, yeah, I had an internship which required Python. I was not that good. I was a beginner not to learn. And yeah, that was a very bad experience. Oh, you don't know Python. But yeah, I know only R at that time.
How did you get this internship? So maybe right now it's a little different, the challenges that people have, but I assume for you was also not super straightforward, especially since you studied R, they wanted Python. So how was it for you? Like, was it easy for you to find internship and what did you do?
It was not easy at all. Like, yeah, to find the first internship and later to find the first job, of course, it's very difficult. And also, I have to also take care of the two children, like in Corona time.
Oh
And
no.
yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine,
and
or
yeah.
I cannot imagine.
And actually, I got that internship partly also because of my automotive engineering background. So they're consultants, which ends for to consult OEMs as automotive. And they had not practical interviews, more a lot of theory, machine learning. So actually, what the courses from Andrew NG helped me a lot. Like, and later they say, oh yeah, we will do only we have to add practical interview
Mm,
later because I was not that good at that time with Python.
mhm,
Yeah, it was okay. The
mhm,
internships. I didn't learn so much. Yeah.
mhm. But what you said, what I heard from you, is your experience with automotive helped, your background helped to get this.
Yeah.
And actually,
Mhm.
for me, it was the same story. So before I started doing data science, I was a Java developer,
Mhm.
and they needed somebody with Java experience in the team. So
Mm.
this is how I got my first data science job. So I guess I hear these stories that when you transition your career, what often happens is your previous background actually helps, and you need to take advantage of what you have. You need
Yeah.
to tell people, hey, this is what I have. That's why I can be useful for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Every experience you have will help somehow later. Also, as I said, not in between of my two children, I also get some job. Like it's not related to anything what I studied as import and export business, but because of this experience, I could um, get admitted from the university because they required this applied university required 1 year of working experience. So
Mm,
without that, it would be also nothing. So I actually appreciate, um, yeah, each experience. And what I also really good at is I can learn even always something out of one person or
mm.
something. Yeah.
Interesting. What did you do as an import expert in this area?
Yeah, it's buying export German goods to China market online
Uh-huh.
platforms and yeah and import Chinese goods to yeah German
Uh-huh.
yeah
So I
supply.
guess you're from China originally, right?
Mhm.
So they were looking for people who speak Chinese and German, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I
Okay.
said it's nothing related to what I studied. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well, at least it helped you to get started, right? And then, like, when you're in Germany,
Yeah.
yeah, you probably want to do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at the beginning was yeah it's difficult to
Hmm.
find something.
Hmm.
So you can just make it the best out of it. Yeah.
And then at some point, you came across our courses, our Zoom camps, right?
Mm.
Can you tell us more about that? How did it happen?
Yeah, I said I did a lot of courses in Coursera, Udemy, and other online platforms. It's a lot of time, very theory, but it's also not bad because I can have a broad knowledge. But then, actually, I follow you at the very beginning. I know you start from the Corona time. I was also at home with two children and write my master thesis at that time. And yeah, the two I took two courses. Zoom camp. One is data engineering Zoom camp. The other is ML ops Zoom camp. Both are very challenge and helpful for me. Why is this challenge? Because it was first time I have to use Docker, Terraform, and cloud. It's so overwhelming at the beginning. But for the second time, second Zoom camp is much easier.
Mm,
But yeah, that's pushed me like to learn very fast and also I did other projects not to complete this. I still remember automatic um, end-to-end data pipeline I built and it was very nice dashboard at that time I built about CO2 and I could use these skills directly in the interviews and
mm,
also at work. I said I have to thank you because I it helped me landed two jobs. One is
Two
at,
jobs.
yeah, Big Four,
Okay.
and the one is at the current company. So,
Uh, and what did help? What helped most from these courses? Was it projects? Was it I don't know, the skills you picked, or what exactly?
I think the design of the courses is quite good because it's really um, the the use case what we see in daily work, and also the instructors were also mix up professional enough from the other companies. Yeah, I think their contribution are really good, and they bring their perspectives into these courses. And of course, the final projects, you combine all what you learned and really to build a portfolio. And this is
Mhm,
actually, I'm looking for interview, like if the person are motivated and also can do everything alone,
mhm,
independently.
mhm.
The value,
Yeah.
I think. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm curious. So you have two kids. You back then you worked and you were doing these courses, and these courses are not easy, like especially for like with your type of profile when you didn't you had not used Docker, you had not used Terraform, you had not used cloud. So I imagine that was pretty challenging, especially like module number one in the data engineering
Yeah.
course for people who don't who did not have prior experience with these things. Sometimes they struggle. So module number one in our data engineering
Mhm.
course unexpectedly turned out to be one of the most difficult modules. And I thought it would be the easiest one because, okay, you just do Docker run and then things work. That was my expectation,
Yeah.
but like that was very far from the reality. So how did you manage to do this? Because I don't know, maybe your kids were in kindergarten, and I remember I had to pick up my son around like 3 p.m.,
Mm.
right, from kindergarten. Uh, and then you also had a job, and also at the same time, and I have just one kid, but you have two. Um, but at
Yeah,
the same time, you do all these courses. Uh, Unbelievable. Like, did you have to do this at night or when? Like, how did you manage your time?
exactly. I said from the 2018, I spent a lot of nights, like
Mhm,
from 9 p.m. to like midnight. It's every day 2, 3 hours. So it's a habit for me, like to learn courses and to do the projects because I was, as I said, I was out of like society so long. I'm observing the knowledge and so thirsty and hungry for the knowledge, and like observing it like a sponge. And yeah, I was not at that time I was feel not tired because I was also very curious of how it works. I even took also like web development, which is actually nothing with data science, but I want to understand now the IT, how it works, how the website, and how even the I took also the webcam about the AI EOS development. Was, yeah, to understand how it works. Yeah, and that's
yeah, that's cool. I
motivates me.
think like everyone who programs at some point will benefit from
Mm-hmm.
a web development course, especially now when it's so easy to create an application, a web application with AI tools. But these tools will create a lot of code that you will not understand unless you have basic knowledge of React and stuff. And for me, I am lucky that at some
Yeah.
point I decided, hey, like, what is this React thing? Maybe I should spend like a couple of months trying to understand. And now, like, when I see AI is doing some stuff, I
Mhm.
can actually try to read it, try to understand, and try to ask, like, hey, is this really necessary? Why this is so complicated, right?
Mhm.
Uh, so I think it's really helpful, even though now I don't need to write web programs,
Mhm.
but I can at least review them, and it's super cool.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, so you said you, because of the courses, you got a job twice, right? So can you tell us more? What was the first job and what was the second one?
The first one is as AI and as a AI and data consultants in a big consultants company. Yeah, the interview question was like, this was a machine learning interview, and that's why I reviewed also machine learning Zoom camp
Mhm.
because I already know that, but just to review some concept, and it's helped me to
Okay,
present it well. So
nice.
yeah, that I got me the first job. The second is yeah, the data engineer. As I said, I started as a data engineer in NOW GmbH, and also our tech is AWS and also Docker, so Terraform. So actually, I benefit a lot from the courses, and I can also do further as I go deeper with the daily work.
Okay. And you started Anova as a data engineer, but now you're head of what? Head of data
Data,
or
yeah, data on cloud.
that's so can you tell us more about this transitioning? So you joined, so first of all, you were taking all these courses and um, yeah, with these courses, you were able to get your individual contributor position, and then you stayed there for some time. You got promoted. So can you tell us more? What
Mhm.
happened? Like, how did you understand? Okay, yes, I want to be head of data.
Actually, it was not the plan. Also,
Okay.
I'm very spontaneous person. I don't plan my life like in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. So it just comes. And actually, I just imagine myself like, okay, I started as data engineer, and I can go deeper, and someday I can become a senior data engineer and can mentor the other juniors. Um, but I think it's the transition. Is maybe the trigger is like there's in our company there is a data science working group like called it's AG is in German. It's like internal communication that the data people like across a team we have this group we exchange our knowledge. We also do pitches and do go together to the events. And yeah, I was before I was even also in the consultants. Also, my first job as a researcher, that I was often alone on the like on a project, and then to have this community was wow, I want to contribute. So it's the shift, like okay, to from an individual like to a community builder. So I talked to the responsible at that time. So I want to contribute, and he said, okay, I don't have so much time. And I said, okay, then I can take the responsibility. Then I made a lot of initiative, which is also one of the game changers kind something that you win through the initiatives. I started AWS certification sprints, like to that the colleagues, the data colleagues can get certification, get trainings, and we have the funding from AWS. And we have also initiatives like going to event, also for women to promote more diversity. Um, genau, these initiatives like make me the change. Okay, I not only do the technically debug, and this
Hmm.
makes me also
Yeah.
satisfied, but then I have more impact through
Hmm.
my work. I help
Yeah.
more people, like I empower more colleagues. So that was a mindset shift, and then was then what's the time coming? Like there's a transition in the company. So and the head of the data left the company, the also
Mhm.
the senior. So there was a big hole, like gap. That we have a lot to do, but we don't have the people that
Mhm.
competent for this. And I was the person who has most of knowledge of AWS. And I said, even it's not my role, like not in my team, I say we have to do something. So I took the responsibility. I said, okay. And I was also able like to do my daily work and also take this responsibility.
Oh,
Um,
unbelievable. You're
yeah,
so good at
yeah,
things. Like
yeah,
for me, when I became when I transitioned from senior to like more technical leadership role, I could not do my previous work. Like I needed to focus on other things. And so for me, it was meetings, mentoring. So I
yeah.
wasn't a manager at first. I
Mhm.
was like a technical leader, a tech lead. But still, my day changed completely, and I had to work with so many people. So I didn't have time to do things I used to be able to do. But you say you were able to do your daily work, but plus, in addition to that, you could manage people.
No, no, at that time
No?
I don't manage people.
Uh-huh.
I just
You just,
only take the work that's supposed from the other team or
uh-huh.
take
Yeah,
the
this
yeah,
coordination work
yeah,
or
yeah,
because
AWS.
from what I understood from your story, so you were first taking some initiatives in internal communities and stuff, but then at some point the head of data left, and there was a gap, and you started to feel in or take some of these responsibilities, right, while still doing your daily work.
Yeah. Yes, it's not, yeah, my daily work. And also, I think I don't take the management, the personal management, but because a senior, the cloud engineer left, that was a big gap. Like
I see, I
make
see.
the
Uh-huh.
infrastructure and all the system works that I step in. So more technically. But at the moment, yeah, it's at the head of data. It's
Mm,
as you said, I don't have time for
I
technical
understand. I
work.
understand.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
yeah.
so how does your day look like now?
Uh, it's very busy.
Very busy.
Yeah, also because now it's the third month
Hmm.
I joined this team, and so I was busy with the team building, like to bring the new structure and the routine to the team. And also second is I'm busy, like we also to prioritize the projects because we have some debts. Like it was really 1 year that we don't have the data, or the senior was stop of the recruiting. So it's a lot of debt that we have to first do it, finish this, and then for innovative projects like AI maybe next year. And mostly what I'm mostly busy is to get budget resource.
Oh, sounds so familiar.
Yeah, and it's quite important. And yes, and also to assess the projects and plan for next year. Yeah.
Mhm. How did you learn all these things? So you said you just, it's been like around 100 days since you started doing this. And before that, you were doing more senior technical things.
Mhm.
So how was it for you? What did you use to prepare yourself? What kind of resources? How did you manage to, I don't know, do all these things in the last 100 days?
So yeah, it's now it's 780, so not 100 yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one I have to thank is my previous team, like my
Mm,
previous manager, team lead. I learned so much from the team and also from the team lead. Because that is the role model for me. That's I don't have to do a start from scratch. so that I
Mm.
can
So you
bring
just observed how they work, how the team lead works, and then you try to
copies.
kind of do the same. Okay.
Yeah, do something because I feel auto is it's working very well and the team spirit is there and that's why I don't have to study from zero.
Hmm.
And secondly, as I said, you don't have to do alone. So I immediately book a course like a
Hmm.
coaching course and that helps me because leadership is nothing more than a new language or new field. They also have frameworks and tools. So there's no one like born as leader, but I think if you are interested in people and can do reflection, you can be also a good leader.
Hmm. But in terms of resources, did you come across any book that helped you or any online course or something?
Yeah, I took one courses from the Hauke Academy. I can recommend. And
Can you say it again? Which academy?
Hauke Academy. One moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it something in Germany?
yeah. It's an institute like a lot of uh
Ah.
Hauke Academy. Like they they provide a lot of um courses, not only leadership. But
Mhm.
the trainer was really nice, and that helped me to reflect and yeah, also yeah, give you some tools really um, on the hand that help. The second book is not really internship, but general how to get with people. It's how to win friends and influence people. But
Okay.
I think this is also one very famous classic book. Um, yes.
Yeah. There's a movie that is called How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. Have you seen it?
No.
It's a dark English comedy. Uh, Sometimes, like, these English comedies, they are a little too dark, right? I think this is one of those. Yeah. Okay. I never managed to finish this book, to be honest. Like How to Win Friends and Influence People. I tried multiple times, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's. I guess I don't have the patience uh, to sit and read through.
I read this book on the trip to in Canada that I have nothing
Ah,
to
okay, it's a
do.
long trip.
Yeah, in one Airbnb apartment, he has this book. Okay.
Ah, okay. So you came to Canada, and in your Airbnb there was the book.
Yeah, I find it's something some really reasonable but it's difficult to do it. But I agree. Some really is opinion what they say. Yeah.
Yeah, I see there are a few questions from the audience. Wanted to cover them before we continue with the rest of questions. Um, so there is a person who says Hemant. So they spend a lot of time programming and then drifted to management, and now they want to get back to data and AI. Do you have any recommendations? How can they do this? So I guess they were doing individual contributions, then they became managers, and now they want to be individual contributors again in the space of data and AI. Do you have any recommendations for them?
Mm, this is also something I thought about it before. I said, should I really do it during people every day? Like actually, I like also programming.
Mm.
Solving complex problems was also a lot bring me also a lot of
Because you
satisfaction.
don't have a chance to do this anymore, right? As a head of data, you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like all this budget planning and stuff.
yeah. I thought I could have like maybe 20% of the time to do it, but
Uh, I
but
thought too it was very naive of me.
yeah, maybe. But before our interview today, I could. code Terraform refactoring Terraform code with one of my.
Okay.
So I do try give my best. I think it's important. But to this question, I can only suggest like to talk with his or her manager about it if the culture is open and supportive. I think it should be, yeah, you can find a way because
Mm.
yeah, it's good that you try it and you find it's not your thing, then you should make a change. It doesn't make any sense if you just stay and not happy. That doesn't good.
So maybe what I can add is in the last company where I worked, the company is called OLX. We had two career tracks, the individual contributor track and the management track. I think it's common in many companies.
Mhm.
So in the individual contributor track, you have these technical leadership roles like staff engineer, principal engineer, and in the leadership roles, in the management roles, in the management track, you have
Mhm.
manager, data science manager, or I don't know, engineering manager, and then head of data, head of engineering, whatever, right? And then it was actually possible to do how it's called lateral
Mhm.
moves. Like if you're head of data, the mm, how to say the position at the same level in the technical track would be principal, right? So then a
Yeah.
head of data could say, "Hey, I wanna try being more hands-on. How about I transition to the principal role?" And I've seen many people do this, right? So they, from being head of data, they became principals, and the other way around also works. Like if somebody's hands-on, but they want to be a little bit more, how to say, like managerial, setting the, you know, strategic stuff, doing strategic stuff. So then it was also possible to transition from like principal to head.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah. So maybe if your company is big and you have these clear career tracks, could be possible to change.
Yes.
Um,
I think he or she could have already have an overview and have a responsibility, and it's easier to do this transit. And
yeah.
if it's yeah, if it's possible, it depends a lot on the
But I
company.
also have to make a plug about our courses, right? Because if you have free time, then right now in January we start the data engineering course. So this is a good moment to actually get into this. And tomorrow we start a course which is about AI DevTools. It's called AI DevTools Zoom Camp, where we show how to use tools like Cursor, GitHub Copilot, and other things to make you a better or more effective engineer, right?
Mhm.
So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can go to our web page, datatalks.club, and then you'll find out more about the courses we have.
That sounds interesting. Actually, I registered, but I don't know I have time for it. I tested also. I tried to evaluate the AI tools and now for the company. I personally use also Cursor to build my website, to do some
Mm,
fast prototyping. I actually very
mhm.
surprised with the
So
result. Yeah.
actually, for me as a former manager and like since I worked for quite some time in technical leadership, I started losing my skills. Maybe some of you have already heard this story, but I started losing my skills as a software engineer, as a developer. So for me, now having access to these tools make me more productive, so I can be as productive as before when I was an individual contributor, even though some things are a little bit more rusty than before. But now I can be as productive as I was when I was a senior data scientist or when I was like, I don't know, a developer, because I could produce so much code and I really liked the code I was doing. So now I can do the same thing, but even maybe faster with all
Yeah.
these AI tools. So that's really cool.
Mhm.
Another question is from Rupa, and they have 6 years of experience, but they live in India. Now they are learning German
Mhm.
and they want to find a job in Germany. So I don't know, Rupa does not does not specify if they are still in India or already in Germany. But do you know any companies who would hire somebody internationally and relocate to Germany?
This question I can not really give
You don't
very,
know.
yeah, but I do what I can add is just learn German is very, very important if you want to move to Germany. It's as important as
Uh-huh.
taking course.
Rupa is in Germany already.
Okay, then okay. Yeah. Um yeah, the international big companies, I think at the moment the job market is very competitive. We have
Mhm.
also some openings outside as data engineer, cloud engineer. They're
So
very
you have some NOW GmbH. You have some. Okay,
I think one now is one
oops.
data scientist positions out, but we require like B2 at this B2
Okay.
um, German level. That's why and also I have to say the German language helped me very to find a good job at to find my first job at the beginning because the most of the English was very competitive. In 1 hour, there were 200. And
Yeah, I've heard about this also from a few people that focusing on German companies where there is less
yeah,
competition. 'Cause
yeah.
so for example, when I worked at Relix, and it was after COVID, when we would open a data science position, we would have 100 applications within minutes of
Mhm.
opening. And I don't know how people even manage to do this, right? It's like, did they watch the website or they subscribe to LinkedIn? It was, and like when you have 100 applications within, I don't know, 1 day, it's like, okay, how do I go through all these people now? Well, most of them were actually not even remotely qualified. But then for me as a hiring manager and for our talent specialists, they had to like go through all these applications and understand, okay, who is good, who is not good, like who is a good match. So then I guess when you target German companies, you have a little less competition.
Yes, definitively. Yeah.
So I found a link to your careers page, and I shared it in the live chat. And Rupa says they have B2 in German, which I think is more than enough to work, right?
Just keep on an eye on it. As I said, there may be more opportunities coming next year.
Yeah. Well, I hope the link I shared will help. Maybe you will become colleagues soon. Uh, how did you learn German, and how would you recommend to do this for people in Berlin?
Um, I had at the very beginning, I had the intensive courses, and then after like 7, 8 years, like I speak and use German every day, but I roam with bad grammatic or thing. And last year, actually, I like retook 1 year German courses with a teacher. Individual teacher in Berlin. I can also share the link later. She was also really good. And if you, it depends which phase you are, you can have so like intensive like every day 2 or 3 hours, or you have already good knowledge and maybe just specific to one point that you can improve it. That would be
Yeah.
good.
So for me, I also took the intensive courses. I don't know if they were from the same school. I took the ones in Deutsche Academy, which have a office not far from me on Alexanderplatz, and
Mhm.
they have these morning classes, which I really found convenient because
Mhm.
I can do the classes in the morning and then the rest of the day I can still work and do stuff. But if I tried learning German in the evening, but
Mhm.
after work my brain was dead. Like it was refusing any German at all.
Yeah.
So like for me, this is what worked, doing German in the morning and then working. But yeah, maybe somebody is like me and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, if they have time, because I do
Oh
see
yeah.
challenge that most people work full
Mhm.
time. It was also at that time, I stay at home with
Yeah.
pregnant, so I do have the time. I really appreciate that I do use this time like to learn German and to learn driving license, like which I don't have time for that. Uh,
Yeah, well, this is another thing why, to me, morning classes helped. It was
yeah,
easier to allocate time to that.
yes,
But back then, I already left OLX, so I was working on Datadog's Club
mhm,
entirely, fully focusing on it. So for me, it was easier because I was my own manager. For me, it was easier to distribute time, right? So for example, sometimes I didn't have to work like 40 hours, right? I could allow myself to work less. Well, sometimes I would work more, but then because I'm my own boss, I can do whatever you want. But like when you work at a usual company, it's a little bit more difficult, I guess. Okay,
mhm.
another question. How would you recommend to start career in cloud and data?
Um, build take Alex courses and build a project. Like I said, I recommend the data engineering. Yeah, the data engineering Zoom camp. It's you have to like all the take. You have to learn all the take and what we learn we use every day really in our company. So also the Terraform code and to write Terraform and build projects. Yeah.
Mm.
And I think for the consultants, if you, I don't know if someone like certification, that is something like, yeah, not everyone like do it. I know it's a lot of theory, but sometimes also the to open a door, like because of consultants company, they do require this certification that might also help. And yeah, if you have time, you can also do it. So the combination of theory and also project.
hmm
Mhm.
And I never took any like formal certification, like AWS certification or
Yeah.
anything.
Mhm.
But I remember I wanted to learn about AWS. I was only starting with AWS, and I came across a course about AWS, preparing for AWS certification. And in that course, I didn't watch the entire course. I watched a few modules, but then I finally understood IAM roles, like in AWS, because I think for me it was the biggest, like I'm trying to come up with a good word, uh, so it's not censored on YouTube. Like was the biggest challenge,
Yeah.
like IAM roles, because it was so confusing and
Yeah.
perplexed. So I never took the certificate, but preparation for the certificate was actually useful. And
Also,
actually, yeah, yeah, and the same with German, right? So, like the reason I actually did German classes because I wanted to apply for citizenship, and in order to apply for citizenship, I have to have B1, and I thought, well, okay, B1 is maybe I aim for B2, and then I started preparing for the certificate, and because of the preparation,
mhm.
now my level of German is way higher than it was before. So at the end, I don't really care about the certificate, but the
Yeah.
preparation
Yeah.
for that was helpful.
The commitment. That's why
Yeah.
also it helped me a lot. Like I set a goal and I just failed once, but usually I can, yeah, I give my commitment and reach that goal I set. That's exactly, you
How do
can.
you do this? Is it New Year resolution or
No,
how do you do goal setting?
no, like data engineer don't come. You have a deadline. Then
All right. Okay.
and also a certification. Okay, I book exam on that day. That is deadline, and then I
I
plan
understand.
that day.
Okay.
Um,
I thought you have like a more formal process for yourself. Like, okay, this year I want to achieve this and this and that. And
mm,
but I agree, when you have a deadline, like for example, with I mentioned this example of a German certificate. I have a deadline. I have to be ready by this deadline. So now, no matter what, I try to prepare myself, and it
yeah,
really helps, right? Because of
yeah.
that deadline.
Next time we can do a podcast of German, right? In German.
Nein, danke.
Nein, danke.
No, like I can order dinner, but having a Germans like small talk, and for me, it's always awkward. Well, small talk is the most I can do.
No problem.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm forced to work in German, then probably I'll get to,
Yeah.
a level when I can actually have a
Mm.
podcast in German. But if possible to avoid that, I would do for now. Okay.
Right.
But you use German more often than English, do you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also at the current company, before also was English.
Mhm.
So that's why also the push, yeah, you have to use it, then
Yeah, yeah.
it's better. Yeah.
Okay, there is one section of our questions that we prepared that we didn't cover, which is inclusion and mentorship. And since you have this experience of being a mom and then of two kids, which I guess is more difficult than one kid, um, and yeah, I wonder, like, well, do you do mentorship? Like, do you help other women who are in the same situation like you were a couple of years ago? Do you help them?
Um, yes, because this journey was actually mostly of this journey I was alone a lot because I have to figure out everything myself and do the decision. My husband doesn't know anything about this, and also the friend, the connection, nothing. That's why when I feel a little bit, oh, now I have time, a little bit free time before I was learning a lot. And then I said, oh, then I feel more comfortable and I can have a free time to give back. And I see I have also friends, a lot of women like stay at home really, because also I think social system here in Germany like my neighbors, yeah, a lot just stay at home, and I find it's really a pity because they really have master, even doctor degrees, and I find it's pity. For me, it's no choice like to stay at home. I was felt not so happy. Like I feel not very bad. That's it's, I think that's not good for the family
Do,
also for
do,
my
do you think it's also, sorry for interrupting you, do you think it's also cultural? Maybe in China, it's more common for women to work, while here in Germany, I agree. I also came across this observation that a lot of women stay at home for whatever reasons, I don't know. But it's more like compared to Russia, where I'm from originally. I think in Russia, because of, I guess, maybe communist times, women worked more compared to Germany.
Yeah, I think one culture a little bit, but also yeah, how much you afford, no? Because in China you have to work full time to people together to raise a children. It's very expensive. In Germany, like it's also you don't need to work full time or even like it's the system like because also the I don't know the married people the tax division like
Right, right.
demotivates you. Why should I work like
Yeah.
for yeah
Okay.
15 per
So
hour?
would you say because life in Germany is easier, people tend to
So
work less?
also no, it's
Yeah.
also a reason that people yeah I don't need to work like for €100, €1,000 like it's not much more. And then if I hire someone to do all the things that yeah it's of course people calculate. This is also one reason. And of course, the third may be also, yeah, culture, now that in China, um, girls, parents that take care more together. But I do wish like that's why I also might talk to my daughter, be yourself, because she sometimes tell me she want to have children. I said, oh no, you're 80 years old to be yourself. I know it's very difficult like to get out, and it's especially for foreigners, and you don't have so much support here. That's why the idea was to help these women to get back to work.
Yeah.
Um, so I made an initiative in my neighborhood. I started a working mom projects like we have a place also at neighbor. They provide me their living rooms. Some women come together and they help them like to review the CVs and just support them. Like they not be that alone. Like I think that's enough because they have to find their way themselves. But not that alone, like to encourage to hear the other stories because they know maybe really in 10 years because the children they wait and the children like old enough, but when it's old enough, then you miss your best time. Like also at the age of 30 years, I was made decision to go back to university. I was also thinking, okay, 30 years, okay, I'm still young. I was still young, but if I say make it now, at 40 years, I was maybe I made other decisions. So that is one project, but now it's just on hold. But now I mentor. I have little time, but I mentor two women at the moment free. So one is also single mom, and yeah, she doesn't work 5 years and try to get again her independence, like, and also help a young graduate to get the first job is was so difficult in US.
Mm.
And I think it's important, like, yeah, it's for me, like, I want to give something back because I know this journey was really hard, especially for foreigners, foreign women. Yeah.
They wanted to get, so maybe they are less lucky and they don't live in the same neighborhood as you, or another person who is who likes taking initiative and they create these groups like working moms. Um, is there any meetup or resource you would recommend? I heard about Pie Ladies. I don't know if they specifically if they have any focus
Mhm.
on moms. I think it's just in general
In
for,
general, for women,
yeah, like
yes,
enabling women.
yeah.
But like if somebody who has similar background to what you did a few years ago, what you would recommend for them to look, I don't know, online or to get
Mhm.
support you were talking about?
Yeah, so the Pi ladies, I was also several times in their meetups and Pi Day, and now was recently I was more engaged in the women in big data in Berlin. They also have a lot of events, and also one organization they gründed, also for freelancers, a little bit entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, that's you can follow them in LinkedIn. They have some nice also some mentorship program which I was at the I am at the moment to have yeah, support them for three
Yeah,
months.
thank you. I know we should be wrapping up, but I see a nice comment. I want to just quickly read it. So the comment is about I'm also a working mom who's taking a Zoom camp, and your story is absolutely inspiring. So
Thank
thank you for sharing your good story. Um, would you classify your background is in automotive as technical background? Because your question is, what about other backgrounds, non-technical ones? And in your case,
you.
she has a background in applied linguistics.
Linguistic, okay. Linguistic actually can be
Like
transit
NLP,
like
right?
yeah, actually AI is
Exactly.
yeah, it's very easy actually. I think yeah, what I would suggest is find your passion, find your strengths, not just go to tech or just because it's cool or AI. Really find your strengths, then you can do much better work. That's all the like hard work that seems not that difficult for me at that moment. So
Maybe what I would add is having some background is always better than having no background. And you can use this background. So, for example, we were talking about import-export, right? And let's say there is a person who worked in import-export now wants to become a software engineer or data scientist. So what they can do is they can work in import-export domain. And there they will have an advantage over people who don't have this experience because they have the domain knowledge, right? Even though the experience might not be technical, but
mhm.
still
Yeah.
it is very relevant for the companies who are automating this import-export and they are building tools for that, for example, right? So then if you're applying as a data scientist with this background, it will make your profile way more interesting than others because you have this domain knowledge. And the same with other things. Like in my case, it was Java. It was a very technical thing, right? So I was more technical than most data scientists in the team that I joined. But it could be like anything, right? So in your case, it was automotive knowledge. But it could be like maybe I worked in oil and petroleum, and now I want to. So this is actually a real case from somebody from the community. So they found a job as a data analyst in oil petroleum company. So their petroleum engineering background was super helpful to do this. So yeah. So yeah, thanks for sharing your story, Xia. Thanks for sharing, also adding this. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but that you're a working mom who has background in linguistics. Thanks for sharing that too. I hope things work well for you. And yeah, we should be wrapping up. It's been an enormous pleasure talking to you. It's not the first time. So before we met in private, now we have this podcast, and before that we interacted online. So it's really nice to that we had you on this podcast interview. So thanks a lot for reaching out to me and suggesting to share your story. And maybe what I will add is somebody else wants to share their stories. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So for me, it's always interesting to hear your stories, to hear how our Zoom camp courses helped you. And also it's interesting because it will motivate the current students or future students of the courses. So yeah, if you have a story you want to share, please let me know.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay.
And then have a nice day. Have a nice
Yeah,
week.
you too. You too.
Safe
And
travel.
enjoy being head of data. It's
Yeah,
going to
a
be
lot of
fun. I
work.
hope it will not be just budget planning, but also interesting strategic work where, yeah, you'll build very interesting things.
Yes, I'll try.
Okay.
Okay, see
Have a
you
nice
later.
day and bye, everyone.